Good morning all. This is Sudhakar Lakawat. Today we are going to discuss about adrenergic agonist. So adrenergic agonist also called as sympathomimetic drugs. The adrenergic drugs which mimic the action of sympathomimetic system. So that these drugs mimic the action of sympathetic nervous system. So these adrenergic drugs also called as sympathomimetic drugs. So sympathetic drugs that mimic the effect of sympathetic nerve stimulation. These are also called as adrenergic agonists. These are also called as adrenergic receptor agonists. So adrenergic agonist classification. The classification is based on chemical classification. So chemically adrenergic agonist classified into two categories. One is catecholamines and two is non-catecholamines. So catecholamines are sympathomimetic with catechol nucleus are called catecholamines. Example: adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine, isoprenaline, and dobutamine. So catecholamine contain catechol nucleus, and non-catecholamines they are absent from the catechol nucleus. Sympathomimetic that lack the catechol nucleus. These are called non-catecholamines. Example is tyramine, ephedrine, amphetamine, phenylephrine, and salbutamol. So catecholamines having catechol nucleus with amine containing side chain. So catecholamines are natural, that is called endogenous, and synthetic. Natural catecholamines are adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine. And synthetic catecholamines are isoprenaline and dobutamine. So adrenergic agonist differences. So the difference between catecholamine and non-catecholamines. So catecholamines cannot use orally. They cannot cross blood-brain barrier, and they have short half-life. And catecholamines examples are norepinephrine, epinephrine, isoproterenol, dopamine, and dobutamine. And non-catecholamines are they can use orally, can cross blood-brain barrier, and they have longer half-life. And for non-catecholamines examples are ephedrine, phenylephrine, and terbutaline. So endogenous catecholamines naturally occurring in the body. Endogenous catecholamines are naturally occurring in the body. These are norepinephrine, epinephrine, and dopamine. And the sites are norepinephrine. This occurring at the site of postganglionic sympathetic sites, except sweat gland and erector pylori and hair follicles. Epinephrine, it is secreted by the adrenal medulla. And dopamine, it is a major transmitter in basal ganglia and chemoreceptor trigger zone, limbic system, and anterior pituitary. And their metabolism of catecholamines. Vinyl mandelic acid is the main metabolite of catecholamines. It is excreted in urine. The normal value of vinyl mandelic acid is 4 to 8 mg per 24 hours urine. Its level are raised in pheochromocytoma. It is a tumor of pheochromocytoma and a tumor of adrenal medulla and sympathetic ganglia. Estimation of the level of catecholamines and their metabolites in blood and urine is a great value in the diagnosis of pheochromocytoma. Okay. Adrenaline and noradrenaline, they are metabolized by catechol-O-methyltransferase and monoamine oxidase enzyme, and their metabolite their metabolite is converted into vinyl mandelic acid, methamphetamine, and normethamphetamine. So now coming to the adrenergic transmission. The transmitter in the sympathetic system is noradrenaline. Now that synthesize, store and release noradrenaline are called adrenergic nerves. So coming to the synthesis. The synthesis of catecholamine began with the amino acid tyrosine, with the transport into the adrenergic neuron by active transport in the neuronal cytosol. Tyrosine is converted to DOPA by tyrosine hydroxylase enzyme, and DOPA to dopamine. So DOPA to dopamine by DOPA decarboxylase enzyme. Then this dopamine enters the storage vesicle of the nerve terminal by active transport, where it is converted to noradrenaline by the enzyme dopamine beta hydroxylase, and it is present only in the storage vesicles. And the noradrenaline formed gets stored in the vesicle. In the adrenal medulla, noradrenaline is further converted to adrenaline by N-methyltransferase, and small quantity of noradrenaline is released continuously into the synaptic cleft, and large quantities during the nerve stimulation. The process are involved in the termination of action of release of noradrenaline in the synaptic cleft, and most of the release of noradrenaline is taken back into the adrenergic nerve terminals. This is called neuronal reuptake, which is either stored in the vesicle or inactivated by the mitochondrial monoamine oxidase. So adrenergic receptors and agonist action. Type of receptor and the tissue which contain receptor and their action. Alpha 1 receptor. These are mostly present in vascular smooth muscle, dilator pupil muscle, and pilomotor smooth muscle. So alpha 1 receptor, alpha receptor stimulation in vascular smooth muscle, contraction. So vasoconstriction will occur. So dilator pupil, constriction, dilator pupil, it causes mydriasis. And pilomotor smooth muscle, erect the hair. And alpha 2 are present in platelet. If the alpha 2 receptors are stimulated in platelet, they'll cause aggregation of the platelets. And adrenergic and cholinergic nerve terminals, it inhibits the neurotransmitter release. And in the heart, beta 1 receptor stimulation increase heart rate and force of contraction. And juxtaglomerular cells in the kidney, it increases renin release. And the beta 2 receptor stimulation, which are present in respiratory, uterine and vascular smooth muscle, they promote smooth muscle relaxation. And skeletal muscle, they promote potassium uptake. And human liver, it activates glycogenolysis. So adrenergic agonist according to receptor selection. Adrenergic agonist according to the receptor selection. So non-specific and specific is there. So non-specific, adrenaline, noradrenaline, oxymetazoline and isoprenaline. Adrenaline acts on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, 2 and 3 receptors. And noradrenaline acts on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 3. Oxymetazoline acts on alpha 1 and alpha 2 receptors. Isoprenaline acts only on beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3 receptors. And specific adrenergic agonists are phenylephrine, clonidine, dobutamine and terbutaline salbutamol. Phenylephrine acts only on alpha 1 receptor, clonidine only on alpha 2 receptor, dobutamine and beta 1, terbutaline and salbutamol acts on beta 2 receptors. So adrenaline secreted by adrenal medulla. It's directly acting on both alpha and beta receptor, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3 receptors. It is a non-specific drug. Effect of difenyfrine on eye. It has poor corneal penetration, so no effect when applied topically. Prodrug difenyfrine crosses cornea and causes mydriasis and decreases aqueous humor formation in glaucoma. Adrenaline pharmacokinetics. It is not used orally, not suitable for oral administration. It is rapidly inactivated in the GIT and liver. Usually given subcutaneously and administered intravenously in anaphylactic shock. It can be given IV in anaphylactic shock. If given IV, causes cardiac irregularities, so dilute before IV administration. So adverse effects of adrenaline on the heart, it causes tachycardia, palpitation, rise in BP and cardiac arrhythmias. On CNS, central nervous system, it causes headache, restlessness, tremor and cerebral hemorrhage. Acute pulmonary edema. It is due to shift of blood from systemic circulation to pulmonary circulation. So therapeutic uses of adrenaline. In anaphylactic shock, 1:1000 adrenaline should be given in the dose of 0.3 mg subcutaneously, repeated if necessary. In bronchial asthma, cardiac resuscitation and prolonging duration of action of local anesthetic, it should be given in 1:1 lakh. And to control epistaxis and other hemorrhageous conditions, it is used in glaucoma, difenyfrine. Alpha 1, vasoconstriction of ciliary blood vessel and decrease aqueous formation. Alpha 2 receptor decrease secretory activity of ciliary epithelium. It's act on the alpha 1 and alpha 2 receptors. So alpha 1 stimulation, vasoconstriction of ciliary blood vessel. So that decreases the aqueous humor formation. And alpha 2 receptor stimulation decrease secretory activity of ciliary epithelium. So this is used in glaucoma. Noradrenaline. It is the main neurotransmitter in the adrenergic system. It acts on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 3 receptors. Noradrenaline increases systolic and diastolic and pulse pressure. And it causes reflex bradycardia. It is used to increase BP in hypotensive states. It is administered as IV infusion in infective orally. And if it is ineffective orally, it is administered only IV and it is not given orally because it is ineffective orally. Dobutamine, synthetic catecholamine. It is a synthetic catecholamine directly acting and it acts on beta 1 receptor, beta alpha 1, beta 2, but relatively beta 1 specific action. It is a potent inotropic action. It causes like tachycardia. It is used in acute heart failure, and its side effect are tachycardia, rise in BP. Dopamine. Dopamine act on the receptors alpha 1, alpha 2, and beta 1, and D1 receptor. Act on dopamine receptor in low doses. Very short half-life. Effect is dose dependent. In low doses, less than 2 microgram per kg per minute. Act on dopamine receptor. In low doses, it is act on dopamine receptor. Selectively dilate renal, mesenteric, and cerebral coronary blood vessels. It increases glomerular filtration rate and urine output. So, pharmacological action of dopamine. In moderate doses, that is 2 to 10 microgram per kg per minute, it acts on D1 receptor and B1 receptor. In high doses, that is 11 to 20 microgram per kg per minute, it acts on beta 1 receptor only. So predominantly cardiac action. Still higher dose, more than 20 microgram per kg per minute, it acts on vascular alpha 1 receptor and cause generalized vasoconstriction. So dose dependent action. Dopamine have dose dependent action. Moderate dose, it acts on the dopamine receptor and beta 1 receptor. In a higher dose, it acts on beta 1 receptors only. So predominantly it have cardiac action. In still higher dose, it acts on alpha receptors. So causes generalized vasoconstriction. So dopamine moderate dose stimulate dopamine receptor in mesenteric and renal vascular beds and causes vasodilatation. It stimulates beta 1 receptor in the heart and increase heart rate and force of contraction. And high doses of dopamine stimulate alpha 1 receptor and causes vasoconstriction. So therapeutic uses. It is used in short, moderate dose should be given. It increases blood flow to the kidney and mesentery. It increases cardiac output. Refractive congestive heart failure. Refractory congestive heart failure. Moderate doses should be given. So it will increase the cardiac output without increase of peripheral vascular resistance. Uses and adverse effects. It is used in cardiogenic shock, septic shock. It increases BP and improves blood supply to the vital organs. That is the advantage over noradrenaline. Severe heart failure with renal impairment. It improves both cardiac and renal function. And the adverse effects are on CNS, it causes headache, nausea, and vomiting. CVS, it causes tachycardia, palpitation, sudden rise of BP, cardiac arrhythmias, and anginal pain, ischemia and gangrene of the limb. These are the adverse effects of dopamine. So comparison between catecholamines and non-catecholamines. Catecholamines they are polar, they do not cross blood-brain barrier. And catecholamines are non-polar, they can cross blood-brain barrier. And catecholamines are metabolized by mitochondrial monoamine oxidase and catechol O-methyl transferase. And non-catecholamines are resistant to monoamine oxidase and catechol O-methyl transferase. And the catecholamines duration of action is shorter, whereas non-catecholamine duration of action is long. And catecholamines are orally effectiveness is absent, and it can non-catecholamines oral effectiveness is present. For catecholamines, examples are norepinephrine, epinephrine, isoproterenol, dopamine, and dobutamine. For non-catecholamines, natural are ephedrine and synthetic tyramine, amphetamine, phenylephrine, and salbutamol. Therapeutic classification of adrenergic agonist. Pressure agent, they increase BP. Noradrenaline, phenylephrine, methoxamine, dopamine, and epinephrine. These are the pressure agents. They increase BP. And cardiac stimulants, adrenaline, dopamine, and isoprene. They are cardiac stimulant. They are having cardiac stimulant action. And nasal decongestant, phenylephrine, pyrometazoline, oxymetazoline, naproxen, pseudoephedrine, and phenylpropanolamine. Phenylpropanolamine. These are having nasal decongestant action. Bronchodilator, salbutamol, salmeterol, erbutalin, and formoterol. These are bronchodilators. Uterine relaxant, ritodrine, salbutamol, and azoxystrine. Anorectics, fenfluramine, dexfenfluramine, and sibutramine. These are anorexic drugs. And CNS stimulant drugs, amphetamine and methamphetamine. These are CNS stimulant drugs. This is the therapeutic classification of adrenergic agonist. Amphetamine, it is a potent CNS stimulating action. It have marked physiological action but less physical dependence. Psychoactive and performance enhancing drug. Psychoactive and performance enhancing drug. Its actions are alertness, euphoria, talkativeness, and increased work capacity. And fatigue is allied, act on reward pathway. It increases physical performance without fatigue, short lasting, and it activates the RAS stimulation, renin-angiotensin system. It will activate renin-angiotensin stimulation, and so wakefulness and sleep deprivation. However, anxiety, restlessness, tremor, palpitation, and dysphoria can occur. And other actions are stimulation of respiratory center and hunger suppression. Adverse effects of amphetamine. In high doses, it causes tachycardia, palpitation, increased BP, and cardiac arrhythmias. It causes euphoria, excitement, delirium, hallucination, and acute psychosis. And repeated dose, long-term behavioral abnormalities can occur. If repeated dose, long-term behavioral abnormalities can occur. And uses are, it is used in narcolepsy, hyperkinetic child, and anorexic patient. Ephedrine, pharmacological action. Ephedrine and it causes CNS stimulation and vasoconstriction. On eye, it causes mydriasis. On bronchial muscle, it causes bronchial dilatation and nasal decongestion. It acts as a nasal decongestion through alpha-1 receptor, and it acts as a urinary retention. And on the heart, it stimulates beta-1 receptors. Ephedrine, uses and adverse effects. Uses are hypertension due to spinal anesthesia, heart block, narcolepsy, and it can be given in bronchial asthma. Now it is replaced by more selective drug. Due to some adverse effects, it is replaced with more other selective drugs. And adverse effects are CNS, insomnia, and CVS, hypertension, tachycardia, and palpitation, urinary bladder, difficulty in urination, and indirectly acting. So tachyphylaxis and repeated use. Selective beta-2 agonist, salbutamol, erbutalin, and formoterol. It is used in bronchial asthma, premature labor, relax the pregnant uterus, and adverse events are tremor due to stimulation of beta-2 receptor of skeletal muscle, hyperglycemia, and hypokalemia. Ritodrine, selective beta-2 with main action on the uterus. It is used as uterine relaxant to suppress labor. Selective alpha-1 agonist, phenylephrine, methoxamine, metaraminol, and methamphetamine. It can cause vasoconstriction, increase peripheral vascular resistance, increase blood pressure, and mainly methamphetamine used to raise BP in hypertensive states. Phenylephrine used as topically as mydriatic and as a nasal congestant. Nasal decongestant: nafazoline, oxymetazoline, xylometazoline, pseudoephedrine, phenylephrine. These are nasal decongestant agents. They used either topically or systemically in allergic rhinitis, common cold, and sinusitis. They stimulate alpha receptor and cause vasoconstriction in nasal mucous membrane, thus relieve the nasal congestion. They stimulate alpha receptor and cause vasoconstriction in nasal mucous membrane, thus relieve the nasal congestion. And prolonged use cause rebound congestion. Prolonged use can cause rebound congestion and atrophic rhinitis and local irritation. Anoretic: sympathomimetic induce anorexia and they promote weight loss like fenfluramine, dexfenfluramine, and sibutramine. These promote weight loss. The disadvantages are all drugs are banned and they have addiction liability, increased BP, palpitation. They have and they cause sleep disturbance and depression. They cause dry mouth, tolerance, fibrosis, and they cause pulmonary hypertension. So the summary of catecholamines and non-catecholamines. So catecholamines have rapid onset of action and brief duration of action. Catecholamines have rapid onset of action and brief duration of action. They are not administered orally. They do not penetrate the blood-brain barrier. Catecholamines like ephedrine, it's act on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, and beta 2 receptor. And the therapeutic uses are acute asthma, anaphylactic shock, in local anesthetic to increase duration of action. The ephedrine is used with local anesthetic to increase duration of action of anesthetic action. And it is given in asthma. It is given in anaphylactic shock also. And it acts through the alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, and beta 2 receptor. Ephedrine. It is a catecholamine, rapid onset of action, and brief duration of action. So norepinephrine, it acts on alpha 2, alpha 1, and beta 1 receptor. Norepinephrine is given in the treatment of shock. Isoproterenol, it acts on beta 1 and beta 2 receptor, and it is given as a cardiac stimulant. Dopamine, it's act on dopaminergic receptor, alpha 1 and beta 1. Dopamine have dose dependent action. So it is used in treatment of shock and treatment of congestive heart failure and to raise blood pressure. It can be given in treatment of shock, treatment of congestive heart failure, rise of blood pressure. Dopamine have dose dependent action. Dobutamine, it's act on beta 1 receptor and it is used in the treatment of acute heart failure. And now coming to the non-catecholamines. Non-catecholamines, when compared to catecholamines, they have longer duration of action and they can be administered orally and they can cross blood-brain barrier. Like oxymetazoline, it acts on the alpha 1 receptor. It is used as a nasal decongestant, and phenylephrine acts on the alpha 1 receptor and used as a nasal decongestant and to raise blood pressure and treatment of proximal supraventricular tachycardia. Phenylephrine is used in PSVT, proximal supraventricular tachycardia. And methoxamine, it acts on alpha 1 receptor and it can be given in the treatment of supraventricular tachycardia. Clonidine, alpha 2 receptors, it can be given in the treatment of hypertension. Albuterol and terbutaline, it acts on beta 2 receptor and it can be given in the treatment of bronchospasm. It is a short acting drug. Salmeterol and formoterol, these are acting on beta receptor and it can be given in the treatment of bronchospasm. These are long acting drugs. Amphetamine acts on alpha and beta receptor in the CNS. and used as a CNS stimulant in the treatment of children with attention deficient syndrome, and it is used in narcolepsy and for appetite control. Amphetamine acts on alpha and beta receptor in the CNS. It acts as a CNS stimulant in the treatment of children with attention deficient syndrome. It is used in narcolepsy and for appetite control. Ephedrine and pseudoephedrine. These are act on alpha and beta receptor in the CNS, and they are used as a nasal decongestant and to raise blood pressure. These drugs are used. So this is the summary of catecholamines and non-catecholamines. Now coming to the adrenergic blockers. Adrenergic blockers. So alpha and beta adrenergic receptor antagonists prevent the interaction of the endogenous neurotransmitter of norepinephrine. Adrenergic blockers are two types, that is alpha adrenergic blocker and beta adrenergic blocker. Alpha and beta adrenergic receptor antagonists, they prevent the interaction of the endogenous neurotransmitter of norepinephrine or sympathomimetics. They antagonize the action of sympathomimetic drugs. With the alpha and beta adrenergic receptor antagonists prevent the interaction of the endogenous neurotransmitter of norepinephrine or sympathomimetics. That include endogenous or synthetic catecholamines or synthetic non-catecholamines with the corresponding adrenergic receptors. Such interference attenuates homeostatic mechanism and evokes predictable pharmacological responses. Okay. So adrenergic receptors are alpha and beta. Alpha 1 receptors are present in all blood vessels. They cause vasoconstriction, and in the mucosa they cause decongestion. Alpha 1 receptor are present in eye, in the radial muscle, iris, and they cause mydriasis. In the skin, contraction of the pilomotor muscle and hyperglycemia. In dopamine receptor, splanchnic area, and they cause vasodilatation. Alpha 2 receptor, they are present in presynaptic level and reduce release. In the CNS, reduce sympathetic outflow. And beta 1 receptor present in the heart, they increase rate, increase force of contraction, and increase velocity of conduction. And beta 2 receptors are present in blood vessel, that is pulmonary and coronary blood vessel. They cause vasodilatation. Beta 2 receptors are present in bronchial muscle, and they are responsible for bronchial dilatation. In the uterus, they cause uterine relaxation. And beta 3 receptors are present, which are present in adipose tissue. They are responsible for thermogenesis, lipolysis, hyperglycemia, and lactic acidemia. These are the receptors: alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, 2, and beta 3 receptors. So coming to alpha blockers. Alpha blockers, they interfere with ability of catecholamines or other sympathomimetic to provoke alpha response on the heart and peripheral vasculature. These have inhibitory action of ephedrine and insulin secretion. Insulin secretion is prevented too. The side effects are orthostatic hypotension, baroreceptor mediated reflex tachycardia, and impotence. Absence of beta blockade allows maximum expression of cardiac stimulation from norepinephrine. They are both competitive antagonists of alpha or beta, or both. They have both competitive antagonist action, that is alpha or beta, or alpha and beta both. So classification: non-selective In that, reversible and irreversible is there. Reversible blocker, phentolamine and tolozoline. And irreversible blocker is phenoxybenzamin. It is a irreversible alpha blocker. Selective alpha 1 blocker, prazosin, terazosin, daxazosin, tamsulosin, alfazosin. And alpha 2 selective, yohambin and edoxamine. And miscellaneous are ergotamine and ergotoxin. Pharmacological effect of alpha receptor and CVS. And CVS, it can cause fall in BP by acting through alpha 1 and alpha 2 blockade and postural hypotension and cause reflex tachycardia and vasomotor reversal of Dale. So actually what will happen, initially there is a decrease in BP and thereby increased BP due to stimulation of beta receptors. Hypovolemia accentuate hypotension. And I, it causes meiosis. And urinary bladder, it decreases tone of sphincter and prostate by blocking alpha 1 blockade. And metabolic effect, it increases insulin secretion. And reproductive system, it will inhibit the construction of vas deferens and related organ blocked by alpha 1 and inhibit the ejaculation and cause impotence. Now coming to phenoxybenzamin. Phenoxybenzamin is an alpha blockade. It develops gradually and lasts for 3 to 4 days. And it can cause fall in BP. A fall in BP by phenoxybenzamin is mainly due to venodilatation and postural hypotension. The fall in BP mainly due to venodilatation and postural hypotension. The shift of blood from pulmonary to systemic circulation and extravascular to vascular compartments. The adverse effects. Adverse effects of phenoxybenzamin is postural hypotension, tachycardia, sedation, nasal stuffiness, meiosis, and impotence. It inhibits the ejaculation. Exercise care in hypovolemic patient. And uses. Phenoxybenzamin is used mainly in diagnostic and inoperative management of pheochromocytoma and secondary shock, peripheral vascular diseases. And phentolamine, coming to phentolamine, it is a congener of tolozoline, a rapidly acting alpha blocker with short duration of action. It is rapidly acting alpha blocker with short duration of action. Many other effects including parasympathomimetic action, the increased gastric acid secretion and cardiac stimulation. Increased secretion from exocrine glands such as salivary, sweat, lacrimal and pancreatic. These are contraindicated in coronary artery disease and peptic ulcer. Phentolamine is contraindicated in coronary artery disease and peptic ulcer because it have parasympathetic action and it increases gastric acid secretion and cardiac stimulation. Phentolamine uses. It is used diagnostically and inoperative management of pheochromocytoma for control of hypertension due to clonidine withdrawal, and it can be used in cheese reaction and to counteract vasoconstriction due to extravasation of noradrenaline or dopamine. It is given IV and the dose is 5 mg. Selective alpha 1 blocker, prazosin. It is highly selective alpha 1 blocker, selectively ratio 1000:1 and less cardiac stimulant action since it preserves alpha 2 mediated negative feedback plus other mechanism. It have less cardiac stimulation since it preserves alpha 2 mediated negative feedback and other mechanisms. It causes fall in BP with no minimal tachycardia. It is used in congestive heart failure and in hypertension, but tolerance develops with time and may be due to fluid retention. And adverse effects are first dose phenomena. First dose phenomena, that is postural hypotension with initial dose will occur. So favorable effect on plasma lipid, it increases high density lipoprotein or low density lipoprotein ratio. Prazosin uses it is antihypertensive and its duration of action begins prostatic hyperplasia. It acts as antihypertensive and duration of action benign prostatic hyperplasia. It is used in benign prostatic hyperplasia. Sorry, not duration of action. It is a drug of choice in prazosin is a drug of choice in benign prostatic hyperplasia. It is an antihypertensive drug. It is used in antihypertension and drug of choice in benign prostatic hyperplasia. It blocks the alpha 1 in bladder trigone and prostate. It decreases the tone of the bladder and improves urine outflow and decreases the residual urine. And dose is 1 to 4 mg 2 times in a day or 3 times in a day. Terazosin, longer half-life, and it can be given once daily dosing. Tamsulosin, it is a uroselective alpha 1A or alpha 1D blocker, as effective as terazosin in benign prostatic hyperplasia. Alpha 1A are predominant in bladder base and prostate. 30 minutes high affinity for alpha 1A receptors. They have no effect on BP and heart rate. Dizziness and retrograde ejaculation are the only adverse effects of tamsulosin. Dizziness and retrograde ejaculation are the only adverse effects of tamsulosin. Alpha 2 selective blockers, yohambine. It have cardiovascular effect, that is peripheral and central effect, and it will block other receptor also, that is 5-hydroxytryptamine and dopamine receptor, and it increases antidiuretic hormone release and enhance sexual activity. And potential use, it causes depression, obesity, and non-insulin dependent diabetic mellitus. Alpha 2 blockade adverse effects. Orthostatic hypotension, it reduces blood flow to the brain, causing dizziness. And lightheadedness and fainting. Orthostatic hypotension reduces blood flow to the brain, causing dizziness, lightheadedness and fainting due to vasodilatation of vein and lowering blood flow to the brain, and reflex tachycardia. Increase heart rate by stimulating baroreceptor reflex, which causes an increased heart rate to compensate. Nasal congestion, it dilutes vessel of nasal mucosa and inhibition of ejaculation by acting on alpha 1 sympathetic reaction needed. And sodium retention can occur. Decrease blood pressure, decrease filtering by kidney, decrease filtering rate by kidney, and causes retention of water and salt. Therapeutic uses of alpha-adrenergic blockers. Hypertension due to alpha-1 selective action, and condition associated with increased sympathetic activity, example pheochromocytoma, and hemodynamic shock, peripheral vascular disease, Raynaud syndrome, congestive heart failure, benign prostatic hyperplasia. The drug of choice is prazosin, that is alpha 1 blocker, and pulmonary hypertension, tolozolin is used, and yohambine are intracavernous phentolamine and pepaverin for impotence, and overdose of alpha 1 agonist. These are the therapeutic uses of alpha-adrenergic blockers. Now come to beta blockers. Adrenergic antagonists are alpha blockers and beta blockers. Now coming to beta blockers. Beta blockers have selective affinity for beta adrenergic receptors. All beta blockers are competitive antagonists. Beta blockade can be reversed by beta antagonist by displacement from occupied receptor if large amount of antagonist is given. So chronic beta blocker use lead to increased number of beta adrenergic receptor, that is cause upregulation. So classification of beta receptors. Non-selective beta receptors are classified into three types, that is non-selective, selective and mixed blockers. Selective beta blockers are propranolol, timolol, sotalol, nadolol, pindolol, oxyprinolol. And selective beta blockers are again divided into two types, selective beta 1 and selective beta 2. Selective beta 1 are metoprolol, atenolol, esmolol, acebutolol, ceriprolol and pitaxolol. Selective beta 2, butoxolol. And mixed action blockers, labetalol and carvedilol. Pharmacological actions of beta blockers. On CVS, propranolol decreases heart rate, force of contraction and cardiac output, and decreases cardiac work and oxygen consumption. And blood vessel, fall in BP, both diastolic and systolic after continuous treatment. They decrease cardiac output, initial increase followed by decrease in TPR, decreased release of norepinephrine from sympathetic nerves, the decreased renin release from kidney, central action decreasing sympathetic outflow. These are the pharmacological actions of beta blockers. And other system, respiratory system, it causes bronchoconstriction, and CNS, it decreases anxiety, tremor and other action. Lightheadedness, forgetfulness, nightmares, and rarely it causes hallucination. And local anesthetic action. Propranolol is a membrane stabilizing action. Metabolic, it increases low density lipoprotein, triglyceride, and it decreases high density lipoprotein by inhibiting lipolysis. And adversely affect recovery from insulin induced hypoglycemia. And on skeletal muscle, propranolol inhibits adrenergically evoked tremors. Propranolol inhibits adrenergically evoked tremors. On eye, it decreases synthesis and release of aqueous humor, and thereby it decreases the intraocular pressure. It is used in glaucoma. And beta blockers are contraindicated in congestive heart failure, bradycardia, and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, bronchial asthma, diabetes mellitus, and hypertriglyceridemia, partial or complete heart block. In this condition, beta blockers are contraindicated. Adverse effects of beta blockers. The adverse effects of beta blockade is bradycardia, reduced cardiac output, heart failure, AV block, atrioventricular block, and long-term use can sensitize the heart to catecholamines. If withdrawn abruptly, angina pain and ventricular dysarrhythmia can develop. So rebound excitation. So withdraw drug gradually. COPD, bronchial asthma, tiredness, reduced exercise capacity, and rebound hypertension and abrupt withdrawal, cold hands and feet, hypoglycemia, and other adverse effects are on the GI system is GI upset, lack of drive, and lightheadedness, and forgetfulness, nightmares, and rarely it cause hallucination. So cardioselective beta 1 blockers: metoprolol, atenolol, acebutolol, bisoprolol, and ismolol. No effect on bronchus, carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. They have low incidence of cold hands and feet. They are less liable to impair exercise tolerance and essential tremors. Metoprolol. It is a cardioselective drug and preferred in diabetics and insulin or oral hypoglycemics. It is less likely to worsen asthma and side effects are milder. And the metoprolol used in acute myocardial infarction without bradycardia. Atenolol. It is a selective beta 1 blocker with low lipid solubility. So longer duration of action and dose can be given once daily dosing. And side effects related to CNS are less prominent and there is no effect on bronchus, carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. And atenolol is used in, most commonly used in hypertension and angina pectoris. Acebutolol. It is a cardioselective with intrinsic sympathomimetic and membrane stabilizing activity. It have a cardioselective action and it has intrinsic sympathomimetic and membrane stabilizing activity. And the side effect profile is less likely to metoprolol. And it is preferred in those who prone to severe bradycardia and low cardiac reserve. Ismolol. It is a ultra-short acting cardioselective beta blocker. The duration of action is 15 to 20 minutes after IV infusion. It has rapid onset and short lasting fall in BP, and uses are to terminate supraventricular tachycardia and atrial fibrillation or atrial flutter. It is used in arrhythmias during anesthesia and during cardiac surgery to decrease heart rate and blood pressure and early treatment of acute myocardial infarction. Ceriprolol and nebivolol. It is a beta 1 blocker and beta 2 agonism action. It have beta 1 blocking action and beta 2 agonist action. So it acts as a nitric donor and it can cause vasodilatation. So ceriprolol and nebivolol uses in hypertension and congestive heart failure. Intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. Pindolol. Pindolol have intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. It is used primarily as antihypertensive and it is preferred in those who prone to severe bradycardia and low cardiac reserve. And there is chance of rebound hypertension are less. Chance of rebound hypertensions are less with pindolol. Without intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. Sotalol. It is a class 3 antiarrhythmic drug. Timolol, topical use in eye. It is used in glaucoma. These have without intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. So uses of beta blocker. Beta blockers are used in condition like hypertension, angina pectoris, in such a condition like cardiac arrhythmias, acute myocardial infarction, and congestive heart failure, and dissecting aortic aneurysm, and these are used in pheochromocytoma, and other conditions like glaucoma, anxiety, migraine, essential tremor, and hyotoxicosis. These are the uses of beta blockers. In conditions like hypertension, angina pectoris, cardiac arrhythmias, acute myocardial infarction, congestive heart failure, these are the conditions. In these conditions, beta blockers are used, and other conditions like glaucoma, anxiety, and in migraine and in essential tremor, beta blockers also used. Alpha plus beta blocker, labetalol. It acts on beta 1 and alpha 1 blocking action as well as beta 2 agonism action. So it is 5 times more potent beta blocker than alpha. It is 5 times more potent beta blocker, then alpha blocker. Fall in BP is due to decrease in cardiac output. Fall in BP is due to decrease in cardiac output. And the uses is pheochromocytoma, clonidine withdrawal, and essential hypertension. Labetalol is used in pheochromocytoma, clonidine, and withdrawal, clonidine withdrawal, and essential hypertension. And adverse effects of labetalol is postural hypotension and impotence. Carvedilol. It acts on beta 1, beta 2, and alpha 1 blocker. Calcium channel blocker. It have antioxidant property, and carvedilol is used in hypertension, congestive heart failure, and angina pectoris. Thank you.